Well, good morning, everybody. It's Thanksgiving Day 2011, and just panning here so you can see what a lovely morning it is. It's going to be a nice warm day in the mid-50s, and sun is shining over the mountain here. And after we get some chow, I'm going to take a little hike over that mountain and help show you how to have a good Thanksgiving in terms of your physical activity and your healthiness, even if you do go overboard on some of your eating. And let's see who's here. We have a hello, Mr. Cat. How are you? Maybe the cat will come with me on the hike. Okay, so the first thing I did this morning was actually stretch. I did active isolated stretching and also some Yamana body wall work. That usually takes me an hour to 90 minutes on the weekends when I have time to really do it. A little less time during the weekdays. The other thing is, obviously, the first thing I took every morning is my TA65. This is on an empty stomach, so it's the first thing I take every single day. And then later you'll see me swallow a huge handful of my own fish oil here. I'm about to make a very light protein-rich breakfast because we're going to go on a hike, and I want a lot of fuel, but I don't want a lot of bulk. Normally I would eat real food, obviously, but pre-athletic event or even pre-training type of thing, I'll just keep it light and make sure that I get the protein. Carbohydrates are a little less important to me. I try to follow a neo-paleo diet, so I don't usually use as much of that, but you can see the cabinet, the supplement cabinet is full. I take probably 30 to 50 different supplements a day, and I'm proud of it. I don't think that's ridiculous at all. A lot of people say, hey, why do you take so much? Because I want to live a long time and I want to be healthy, and I understand that my supplements help me do that, and they help me do things that I can't do if I don't take them. Ask me how I know, because when I stop them, I can't do the things that I want to do. So I mentioned carbohydrates. Here's a bunch of carbohydrates sitting in front of me. These are strawberries, as you can see, and these are going to go into about 2 quarts of my protein shake. The other thing I'm going to be adding this morning is David Wolf's banana flakes, which I think are wonderful, the organic banana flakes. And also I'm going to put in a capsule of my cardio boost, which is Aronia melanocarpa, aka black chokeberry and black currant. Alright, so here's the ingredients in a great shake. This is Dr. Day's Best Private Reserve Protein Powder. 3 scoops, a tablespoonful of David Wolf's organic vine-ripened banana flakes, a bunch of strawberries, and a little bit of almond milk, and a significantly larger amount of water. The almond milk is wonderful, but it's high, or it's potentially high, I should say, in omega-6s, and we don't want too many omega-6s. So here we go. Let's hit the start button here. And okay, right before I have my shake, which is in this big container right there, I'm going to have a handful of greens. I always do this because I know that I don't get as much greens as I'd like. These are organic super greens, and I start almost every single meal with a big handful of these. These are great fuel as well for your athletic events, although I wouldn't just use this type of food. You certainly need a lot more dense nutrition and calories, but the super greens are delicious, and you need your greens. Most Americans just don't get enough of them. Okay, so we're about to embark on our little hike. So far I've stretched, I've had a phenomenally healthy, nutrition-rich breakfast, and I've had a big handful of fish oil, and I'll show you later in the day. I'm going to take another big handful. I've had my TA65, I've had Dr. Day's Best Protein Powder, all the great stuff. And we're about to go on a nice little 5-mile hike up this mountain. And you'll see why it was important to keep the actual volume of the calories down with the nutrition up, because we've been climbing over trees, rocks, and a lot of other things. There was a big storm here on the East Coast about a month ago. A lot of the trees came down, so we're going to have a lot of fun with this one. So I'll see you on the trail. So here's a little snippet for you. This is what we're climbing up. As you can see, it's pretty steep, and it gets much steeper at places. It's a walk. We're not pushing this. We had been out yesterday, did a nice little 3-mile lactate threshold run. So this is just a sort of active recovery day for us. 5 miles through the woods. Beautiful, beautiful morning. Okay, I'm going to zoom in on the city below. Hopefully you can see it. This is how far we've come now. I'm guessing we're maybe 1,000 feet, maybe a little higher at this point. And we're going to probably go that distance up again. Again, it's not a real mountain, but it's a nice little hill. Great way to spend Thanksgiving. So here we are on Thanksgiving. This is the top of the climb, and we're going to start our way down. It's a nice little 5-mile run through the or hike through the mountains.
Okay, in case you're wondering what you're looking at right now, those are my feet. I'm hanging upside down. It's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Thanksgiving. I'm going to be going to visit my relatives relatively soon, and I'm taking a little 5-minute break here to decompress my spine. Now, this is a little bit of a tough one for most people because it puts a lot of stress on your ankles. When you go to your chiropractor and they yank on your legs to quote-unquote decoapt your hips or pull out your hip socket a little bit to prevent compression of the hip socket, they don't grab on your ankle, they grab your mid-shin. So this particular exercise, while it's probably decompressing the spine and also decoapting my hips to some degree, it's putting a lot of stress on the ankle joint, specifically the anterior part of the ankle. So it may not be for you, but it's a great way to do to get the decompression. Obviously, you can also exercise. You can do the Richard Gere sit-ups here, and you just have to concentrate on not using your quadriceps muscles so much. You can also unhook one of the legs and really stretch out the other leg with gravity. For instance, if I unhook this right leg here, let's see if I can do it while holding the camera. It's going to be a little bit tough, but I think I can do it. There we go. I can let that swing over, which you can sort of see, and really stretch that foot out. Now, in order to hook this back up, I'm probably going to have to put the camera away for a sec, but let's see if I can. Nope, there we go. So it's a great way to get inversion exercises and a neat little break to help you stretch your spine and your hips. Okay, I'm going to show you the next device, which doesn't require this much strength or any kind of pressure on your ankles.
This next device here is called the Back Revolution, and it's simply a type of chair that you can sit in, and then it flexes, and you have these arms to hold on to, and you're being held by these big pads here. This is where your thighs go, and you rotate your trunk, and so there's almost no pressure on your spine. This is a great way to decompress the spine without having to go through the athleticism that you do when you're hanging upside down. So the Back Revolution, it's backrevolution.com. You can get one of these. Excellent piece of equipment for those of you who have limited strength and don't tolerate true inversion very well. Great way to spend your Thanksgiving, folks. Again, 60 or 90 seconds on either of these is all it takes. Okay, we just finished our inversion, and now it's time for the midday dose of fish oil, which is right there. None but the best, Dr. Dave's best. I'm just going to take a handful of this, which is exactly how I measured this. It turns out to be a handful for me is about 22 capsules. Now, obviously, you don't need to take that many if you're not all that interested in having the super high levels of omega-3s that I do. But if you're interested in living a long time, I would suggest you consider taking probably more than you are. And right next to it is a bag of nuts. This is one of the reasons why I have to take so much omega-3, is because nuts contain a ton of omega-6. An almond, for instance, almonds have about 1,000 milligrams of omega-6s per serving and about 100 milligrams of omega-3s. And they're touted as a very healthy snack food. Well, they're healthy except they have tons of omega-6s. I don't do really well by avoiding nuts or other high omega-6 foods like plants and vegetables. I do avoid the processed foods, but in order to make up for the fact that I take a lot of omega-6s, I take a big dose of omega-3s. So here we go with that. Let me see if I can do this without too much jostling. Just going to pour myself a big glass of water here. And let me grab the omega-3s on this nice clean countertop. Here's a handful. Down the half. And I'm going to finish them off here with another batch. So I really do take this much, folks, and I explained the reasons. I want to have that very high omega-3 level, and I don't have to worry about how much omega-6s I take in. So here we go with that second bit. And that's it for fish oil on Thanksgiving, folks. Okay, so for a little midday break here before dinner, I'm out on the ATV. It's great fun. And it's not a bad workout. It's a little bit of work, a little bit of exercise that you get handling this thing, getting through the mud. And that's my cousin Ralph out there bombing around. So just a fun way to enjoy it.
I'll follow you. Awesome. Have fun. Perfect. Go ahead, light them up. That's Bentley. Hey, buddy. Hi, Bentley. He's ready to come with us.
Let's let him.
All right.
Let him. Thanks.
Oh, yeah. Got it. Come on, buddy.
Thank you.
I hear him. David should be coming now shortly. He's coming up along the side. We'll see him in a minute. Any minute I hear him. He's just below the hill. There he is. He should come roaring into view right about now. There he is. There he is. All right.
So here we are. This is our host. I know her as Mary Sue or Susie, and they also call her Mary. And that hard-working guy back there is Mark. He's doing the dishes. And what's left over of Thanksgiving dinner at this point was this wonderful salad, and there was some squash and sweet potatoes and turkey. And of course, there's dessert in the next room, which is not getting eaten very much, which is because everybody is watching their waistlines and their food intake. So this was a very healthy meal for Thanksgiving, and I was hungry after all that activity. Well, folks, you know, I just wanted to show you the healthy anti-aging lifestyle for the holiday. In this case, it was Thanksgiving. It could be Hanukkah, Christmas, Easter, or any other holiday where food seems to be the central theme. Food was the central theme for us, but we kept it to one meal, and we made sure that we got our activity. So that's tip number one. Get your activity first. Tip number two, I think you saw, was to get your vegetables first. Now, some of you who are vegans, vegetarians, that's not a problem. But a large number of people out there are meat eaters, including myself. And sometimes it's very, very easy to skip the vegetables. So I always eat them first, and I always eat nice big handfuls of organic greens. And so that's the key. I just want you to live long and have a fantastic time. I want you to enjoy your families and have the kinds of holidays that you can remember and you don't feel guilty and bad about, and you're not one of those statistics that we see every holiday season, either someone who's gained excess number of pounds, usually 7 to 9 pounds for the average American, or somebody who didn't even make it through the holidays. Eating is the most important thing you can do for your health and longevity. So I'll see you the next holiday. I hope you had a great one, and I'm wishing you the best for the next one.